Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day Vulcan Report is for trading on Monday, November the 7th, 2016. You're looking at a chart of the Dow Jones futures contract, and as you can see, the market soared today. It just went gangbusters, up almost 400 points. And you can see here on the weekly chart that all you're doing is just oscillating inside of this elongated trading range. That's it. Nothing real new is happening. Market prices are staying above the long-term trend line support. Market is still in a overall bullish position, but truth be told is the momentum came off, and now technically speaking this picture is bearish. Let's look into what actually transpired today. But before we do that, I just want to ask a question to all of the chicken little fear mongering, fear panders out there with your fear porn and your the sky is falling, market crashing, collapsing. Did you file for bankruptcy today? Because if you were short coming into today's trading session, you got obliterated. Were you long some put options on the S&P 500? Tisk tisk. This is why people pretending to be traders need to just be quiet and find something else to do, because you don't know what you're talking about. Now, I'm going to show you, though. I'm going to pat you in the back, put my arm around you, and show you how you're actually right. How about that? All right, I'm going to give you your crashing market, because that's what you've been talking about ever since the market's been just staying up here floating around. You've been talking about crashes. I'm short the S&P. I'm short the Dow. I'm short. I'm buying puts. And your puts are decaying. Time decay is killing your puts. That's right. This is what's happening to you. The longer this market does this, the more worthless your put options are becoming. So let's see exactly what transpired, and I'm going to show you how you're going to be okay. How about that? Today you're not, but eventually you will be. All right, here we are before the election. The market's running. It's inside of the Kumo cloud of death, narrow as it is. Should probably have no problem punching out through it, rallying into the election, even maybe post-rally, getting back up, testing and touching the 18,400. I would not be surprised if that happened. However, we need to reckon with some things here, which is this massive gap that has to be dealt with. At some point, before the market can really do anything, this has to be dealt with. This gap will be filled at some point. It's just how it is. So if you're thinking that, oh no, I think it's going to go up because look at this gap back here. This gap technically was already filled here on this bar here. All right. The high of this bar got into the space between this low and this high. That's a technical fill. On this side, there is no fill. This massive gap is going to be reckoned. My guess is it's going to happen right after the election, if not during the process tomorrow. But at some point, this here is going to have to be filled. All right? Or will we reverse course and crash, to use your vocabulary, through the supports, crashing through the 17,807? The market is in a negative pulse wave position and leaning on the daily chart. It is bearish the daily chart. Bearish the daily chart. Even though it got itself up into the Kumo cloud today, still a bearish technical picture. This gap needs to be dealt with before anything can happen. Even if they're able to drive the market higher, can't do that until you deal with this right here. All right, so here's your crash right here. Here's your market correction. Here you go. When the market gets down here and fills this gap, that's going to be your chance to get out of your put options before they expire worthless. Other than that, if you miss your opportunity and this thing shoots back up to here, you're done. You are done. You're done. You lose. You're stopped out. All right. So how is all this going to affect the gold markets? Well, let's just see. All right, taking a look here at the gold market. Well, they managed to pretty much decimate anyone coming into the market along the gold today, because what did they do? They crushed it down almost 30 bucks. Yes, they did. But we need to deal with an issue here. The same issue with the Dow we have in gold. This gap is going to have to be dealt with. All right? Got to deal with this. Market closed here, opened here. All right? Got to deal with this gap. At some point, this gap needs to be dealt with. So, is this going to run back up here and start to run alongside here and come down? Or is this going to come up here and keep running back up to above the 1300 level? Anyone knows. Market is oversold, but it has not taken out the major supports. So it could do whatever it wants to do at this point. Who knows? But let's talk about what we do know. The things that we don't know, we can't do anything about. But let's deal with the things that we do know, because that we can do something about. I don't know if you can see this because it's pretty, light, I guess. But let me just move it around. Okay, this here, if you can see the heading, it says, beware of the potential impact of U.S. presidential election on the forex market. This is coming out of China to advise its clients about pending Armageddon in the United States. Now, this is a brokerage communicating to its clients. Dear client, the U.S. presidential election will be held on the 8th of November, Tuesday. It is expected that the outcome of this election will exert substantial effect on the financial markets, possibly causing a widespread higher price volatility and lower liquidity. To cope with the potential market turmoil, it is advisable for you to manage your open positions more prudently and to reserve sufficient margin. In addition, because of the potential lack of liquidity amongst the major participants and bankers in the forex market, you may face more frequent transaction rejections or temporarily inability to access transactions after the outcome of the election is released. Please ensure that you have been informed fully about the impact of the election as outlined above. Some of the words that were used in this, the word wider spread, higher price volatility, that's nothing. But potential market turmoil, potential market turmoil, potential lack of liquidity, frequent transaction rejections or temporary inability to access transactions after the outcome of the election is released. Let me put this to you in layman's terms. Sounds like to me, according to this notice, that they're planning on turning off the circuit breakers and letting whatever happens, happens. In addition to that, based on the wording in here, it is also alerting us to the fact that this is a planned scenario. No other time in U.S. history that I have been alive and trading, dating back to the 1980s, do I see or have heard anyone talk to me about market turmoil because of a U.S. election. It's never happened. It doesn't have to happen. There's no reason for it to happen. There's no fundamental reason for markets to be in turmoil based on the outcome of an election. That is ridiculous. That is trying to already predetermine a scapegoat for what they're planning to do. The market's not going anywhere unless they want it to go there. I know everyone's talking about Brexit. Look what happened during the Brexit. That was also planned and coordinated. They gave everyone the head fake and sold you on it and then did the opposite. That's what they do. They're not going to tell you what they're going to do so that you can prosper on it. No, it's designed for them to prosper. So they're going to feed you disinformation. Oh yeah, the Brexit, oh, it's definitely, it's definitely not going to happen. No, no way, no way. And then when it happens, everyone's looking stupid. No one recants. No one apologizes for misleading or any of that stuff. Just like when they give you dates, the sky is falling. When it doesn't happen, you don't hear them come on and apologize or any of that stuff. There's no accountability. They just shoot off at their mouth and say whatever it is they want to say, and people still subscribe to them and listen to them and follow them, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers on YouTube and other places, and they have speaking engagements. They're everywhere showing their faces on TV, and they're nutcases. They don't know what they're talking about. They're using fear to peddle their wares to the unsuspecting, ignorant public, because that's what they think of you. They think you're ignorant. But here it is right here. They're already telling you that the brokers have planned a coordinated effort to do something crazy in these markets. Based on the wording in this particular email, it's saying that you can expect what is called fast market conditions. Under fast market conditions, they don't have to respect your orders. They don't have to fill your orders. All right? They can fill you at the most ridiculous prices within the price range that they feel like, or not fill you at all. Like many of you have heard me say, I'm still waiting on fills. I'm still waiting on fills in natural gas and the options market of crude oil, natural gas, unleaded gas, all of it. I'm still waiting on fills. Waiting on fills from 2000 and 2001. Where my fills at? Still waiting on paper to come back to me from the cocoa debacle as well back in 2000. Where's that at? So yes, this is what you can expect. But wait, there's more. This is coming out of China. This email I'm showing you is coming out of China. Overseas, they're telling people that basically expect pandemonium in America. But wait, there's more. Here is TD Ameritrade here in the States. Now this is a very interesting one. I don't know what to make on this one. So I'll let you guys decide on this one. This one says, Dear valued Forex client, in preparation for the upcoming United States presidential election and as a countermeasure to the potential for increased market and liquidity volatility that may result, TD Ameritrade Futures and Forex LLC is increasing margin requirements on one or more Mexican peso foreign exchange FX pairs. And then you go and blah, 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 go to the bottom. It's increasing from 6% to 10% is the new leverage. All right? That's not the point. The point is the Mexican peso? Who in the heck trades the Mexican peso? And what does the Mexican peso have to do with the U.S. election? And why would the Mexican peso receive bids based on what's going on with an election? I can tell you, I have never heard nor seen ever any correspondence about the Mexican peso based on the U.S. election. Ever. Ever. And I ran an order desk for a major brokerage. No. Never heard of it. Ever. Not the peso. I've seen alerts go out for the yen. I've seen them go out for the pound even before Brexit. Oh, absolutely. The yen, and it used to be the gangster back in the day. The yen used to just blow people apart with its volatility and stuff. So yeah, I've seen that for other pairs, but not the Mexican peso. You really need to scratch your heads and do the knowledge on this one. What in the heck does the U.S. election have to do with the Mexican peso? This is not a Mexican election. This is a United States of America election. What are they trying to tell us? What is really at stake? What's really going on? What is coming down the pike? That the Mexican peso would even be on the radar. The Mexican peso is never on anybody's radar. I don't even know anyone that trades the Mexican peso. Most people trade the euro, they trade, the yen, they trade the pound sterling, they trade a lot of the euro, mixes and the yen mixes and pairs and things like that, like euro yen and things like that. Euro, I understand. I'm sorry. I'm at a loss. This is strange. That's all I'm saying. People need to be prepared for the wildness to come. They can bring a market down and build it right back up at any time they want, which leads me to my next point. What have I always told you? Those of you who've been with my channel since 2009, 2010, what have I told you? Before they crash something, they build it up first, and before they build something up first, they crash it first. Gold has been crashed. Prepare for that to rally. The Dow rallied. Prepare for that to crash or correct. These gaps cannot be left alone. They're going to have to be dealt with at some point. So there you have it. Tread lightly. All right? Do not be overzealous. You're going to have to watch your positions. For most of you, it may be a good idea to go flat by the close, the 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time close tomorrow, just to be on the safe side, because you can't move and shake in the after hours markets. You can't do anything if you're long equities. What you going to do? The FX market's going bananas. When the Asian market opens, what you going to do? Futures are going gangbusters. What you going to do? Unless you got your account set up to trade forex and futures, you're just in the wind. You just hoping and praying. That's all you can do. But what if they do bring the Dow down 1,000 points? What are you going to do? And what if it sets and stays there like during the Brexit? Remember, during the Brexit, the pound dropped thousands of points. Just remember that. Thousands of points. And stayed down. Did not get back up. It was a TKO. What if they are planning a coordinated effort amongst the brokerage houses to cause some type of financial shakeup in the markets? For whatever reason, I've given you the scenario. I've explained to you that there's no reason for them to do so. There's no fundamental reason for the Dow to go up or down. I'm just saying. That's why it's been in this elongated trading range, because there's really no fundamental reason to drive the markets one way or the other, to be honest with you. Seriously. So what's really going on? What is it that they don't want you to know? To be honest with you, I don't know how anybody can trade or make it without the pulse waves. Do yourself a favor. Come on over to pulsewavetrading.com. That's pulsewavetrading.com. And learn what the powers that be don't want you to know. Bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. Take what you can, give nothing back. Peace.